So, episode 5 of ANTM, and we went to Canada. We went to Toronto, actually. And, yeah, they just made it look so effortless and easy, and they totally skipped over the fact of how irritated, pissed off, hungry, tired, cold, and just generally irritated by the whole situation we were. I mean, obviously we were excited. We didn't know what exactly was happening. I mean, we got the J message straight after elimination, and we had to get on a flight overnight and arrive in Toronto. Problem is that we went straight from the airport to the CN Tower, which, you know, you're in Toronto, let's see the CN Tower, it's a lovely tourist site, brilliant. But not straight after I get off a plane. We were dirty. We all were whiffing. And obviously tired, and all we wanted to do was maybe just freshen up somewhere. We knew that we were going to have to, you know, keep on going throughout the challenge, and, you know, it wasn't going to be a day off or anything. But give me a little bit of time to freshen up, you know. No, so they dragged us to the top of the CN Tower, and I must admit that was like a long process, just because we were all like, we ain't doing it, we're not going up there, da 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 da. But no, we complied, we listened, we went up there. Luckily, they weren't dangling us off the CN Tower. Just up there to see the sights and have Jay tell us that we're going to be going to castings. And you know what? I do love castings. It gives me an opportunity to talk. I like talking, so I was quite excited about that part of it. But then, at the same time, I'm always a bit... I'm not even going to say negative, because I'm not a negative person. But at the same time, I know what area of modelling I fit into. I'm 5'7". I don't really do catwalk. I don't really go to catwalk castings, or should I say my agency doesn't send me to them. I've done a few catwalks before, but nothing like uber professional or anything, just because I like walking. It's kind of, you get to kind of strut your stuff and show a bit of oomph and spice, so I really enjoy doing that. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have a bit of fun with this. Let's see if I get booked for anything. And they showed all the castings in some really, really confusing way. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like my hair was going from like straight to curly, and it was all just backwards. So the first casting that they showed you guys was actually our second casting on the second day. I think they started with pink tartan. Yeah, they started with pink tartan when actually that was on the second day, and I'd already been booked and done a show, hence the straight hair. I've got flickable hair. Yeah, hence the straight hair on that. Just thought I'd throw that in somewhere. And yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun going to castings. I mean, yeah, we all saw that moment when they kind of asked everybody what their height was, and I was a little bit like, yeah, 5'7", but it's cool, personality, and they seemed to like that, so yay. Yeah, I mean, it was generally an all-out good vibe, and adding to the fact that we were cold was obviously because we all packed stuff for LA. And then all of a sudden you're taking me to Toronto where it's some kind of different temperature. I wish I could give you some kind of facts on that, but I don't actually know. But we were freezing. We all just had like no clothes. Did you not see us all the time? Shivering. Simone's attitude? Yeah, it was a little bit annoying during this Toronto trip, but at the same time, I do think that people need to remember that that was Simone's first casting. She went to her first ever casting on America's Next Top Model, which is a great thing, but at the same time, you kind of need to prepare yourself, because I think all the rest of us have been to hundreds, if not thousands, of castings. And you know what? Sometimes they like you and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they book you and sometimes you don't, and you can't really dwell on it. But at the same time, this wasn't really a real situation, because, for example, with the pink tartan one, we all had to sit there and wait for the ones that they liked. Like, you know, you had to sit there, and then the client would go on about how much they love somebody, and you're kind of like, yeah, you obviously don't love me, and just sit there and look at your time, waste a bit of time, oh, what's going on, you know, and try and not pay attention to the fact that a designer is standing there gushing about how much they like someone else. In the real world of castings, you go in, you show your book, you do your walk, and you go about your business. You don't get a call until later to know whether you've booked the job or not, and plus you don't have to have it rubbed in your face about how much they love everyone else. So it is kind of harder to take on the show. However, I think she could have handled it better. She was moany, moody, and just deflated. And it's a little bit like, even if you are feeling deflated, for example, Kat, deflated. There is no need to have that attitude, because people pick up on vibes. People pick up on that. And regardless whether you think you're acting moody or not, people are definitely going to notice. And I think all of the girls were quite irritated by Simone during that point. But she's still here. And I love Simone. Let me just put that on the record. I actually do love Simone. In fact, hold on. I stole this teddy from the house, and it was actually Simone's one. So, Simone, I got your teddy, by the way, just so you know. Moving on, yes, Simone, attitude, casting. Like, Ashley, for example. Ashley was just in awe of the whole thing, and it was just so cute to watch and, like, endearing. She was happy about the whole thing. She was like, oh my god, I got to watch. She thought it was amazing that she got to watch, and she was just taking the biscuit out of herself and, you know, just, I don't know, taking it with a pinch of salt, and you can't take yourself too seriously, so I thought that was really good on Ashley. Photo shoot. Okay, so we did the maple syrup, getting dripped from head to toe, having leaves covering our modesty. But did anybody notice the bit when apparently I didn't have enough leaves covering my modesty and they like blurred out my bum? It was a tiny bit, but I definitely saw blurration over my bum. And it's quite funny because basically it just means that it was too raunchy for CW. But CW has literally gone really, really like family orientated. For example, on our Britain's Next Top Model, we did nude shots. I think they quite liked us taking our clothes off, to be honest. And I mean, there's a photo of me in a bath of mangoes, just like that. I had a thong on that they edited out. So use your imagination on that one. But whereas CW just isn't having it. They won't even allow like a little bit of side boob, a little bit of cleavage, side boob. None of that. They're just not having it. So I thought that was quite funny about the blurring situation. And also we touched upon Laura and her situation with her friend being in a motorcycle accident before she came out. And we all kind of knew that Laura was hurting about something, but we didn't quite know exactly what. She told a few people. But yeah, no, she was really upset. And I mean, I've never had to deal with anybody close to me dying, so I don't really know how to behave in a sense, but she was definitely upset, and she used that to pull out a damn good shot. It was definitely an excellent shot. Something they totally and utterly missed out. Okay, you see how Beverly Johnson was at the panel? She wasn't just at the panel. That wasn't the first time we met Beverly Johnson. She actually came to the house. Now, let me think. When did she come to the house? I think it was after Toronto. After Toronto, she came to the house and we showed her around, you know, as you do, pretending like it's your own mansion. And she was just talking to us about, you know, succeeding in the industry and being the first black model on the cover of Vogue. And then she introduced us to her daughter, who's a fabulous like plus size model, who's just given birth to her own child, and it was just all this like lovely family situation, and it all kind of made us a little bit upset just because, yeah, weren't around the fam, you know, or friends. But yeah, I literally only noticed that when I saw panel. I was like, oh, it's Beverly Johnson. Oh yeah, I met her. And why did I not see that? So yeah, there's some information for you. Again, I keep on saying, has anybody noticed? I feel like I'm over-analysing the show now that I'm on it. And I kind of look at it and I think, what's going on there? Does anybody notice the beeps that they do when the prizes are when Tyra's reading off the prizes? She's like, yeah, Vogue Italia, da-da-da-da, and it's like a beep, 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 beep. And it sounds like a computer thing. Every time it goes off, I'm like looking around like, where is that noise coming from? And I realised that it's all right, it's just the editing. Cool. And another thing, Annaliese. I love Tyra Banks. I do love her to pieces. And the first time we went to judging, she actually asked me, how do I pronounce his name? I said Annaliese. And then she proceeded to call me Annaliese since then. But it's funny because other people on the panel still call me Annaliese, but she still likes to call me Annaliese. So, thanks, Tyra. Photos. You know what? All the British girls went first, and we loved all of our photos. As a collective, I thought all of our photos looked good. Until we saw the American team. We saw all of their photos and we were like, oh, ours don't actually look that good in comparison. They look good by themselves, but you know it's all relevant. You've got to compare it to other things, and yeah, yeah. That's why when Tyra was announcing like who was coming down to collect their photo, will it be a British person? We're like, nah. Ain't a British person. No, it's not a British person. Then like, what? Oh, yay! Yay to Sophie. And again, I think that shows how much we worked as a team as well. Genuinely happy for one of our teammates getting a call out, which I don't think the American team would have been. Yeah, and also, and these are all things that I kind of noticed in elimination. They kept saying 8 shows. Now, I really don't remember going to 8 castings. I might be mistaken. I was tired, hungry, cold, which is the worst trifecta for me. But, so I might not have been paying attention, and it was quite a long time ago, but I seriously don't remember going to 8 castings. Maybe 6. We had 4 all in one go in that room, the one where I booked castings, and then we had Pink Tartan and J. Manuel. Can you... That's 6, right? Anyways, yeah, so when they're saying, like, Sophie booked 4, Ebony booked 4, I don't think it was out of 8. I personally thought it was out of 6, but slight minor detail. Yeah, what else? Yeah, so I guess moving on to deliberation, which I'm always really terrified to watch deliberation, just because... Obviously, if you got bad comments while you were standing there, or you weren't quite sure what the comments were, or they were, you know, or Kelly Catrone making her little jokes, kind of jokes / cusses that you're supposed to smile and kind of brush off and all of that. Imagine what they say when you're not there. So I always get terrified about watching it. But mine was good this time. Yeah, you know what they said? That they can't seem to get past the fact that I'm a presenter. And all I can see is the presenter in her. And I think they think that's a really bad thing, because obviously it is a modelling competition. I do kind of need to show my modelling ability. I think it's a great thing. The more you say it, the more it's going to happen. I swear I say this every video, that I absolutely love presenting. I love modelling. Modelling is something that I'll do for as long as I can, and as long as people book me. However, presenting, that is my career. That's where I'll be happy doing, and I'm talking TV, radio, and live events. That's what I want to do. What else? Yeah, and then all the British girls, we were left standing on our own. All the British girls, okay, not all. Didn't Sophie get through? Sophie, or... I can't even remember. But it was quite bad. We looked pretty rubbish at that point. Finally got through though. But actually the call out order might look a bit confusing to some people. It was kind of confusing to me, and I was there. But I know that I got called that far down the list because I think I put my foot in my mouth when I went up to talk to the judges, basically. They just skipped over that, but this is the problem with me. I talk, and I end up putting my foot in my mouth and saying things I shouldn't be saying. I basically just thought, let's be honest, that, oh, I'm only 5'7", I didn't really think I'd put that much. And they were like, oh, you can't say that. You're supposed to think positively and all of this. And I was a little bit like, well, I did think positively, hence why I booked jobs. I wasn't going to not give it my best or anything because I thought I wasn't tall enough. Just go for it, innit? But no, they took that in the complete wrong way. Hence why when Tyra gave me my photo, she was like, yeah, you might be 5'7", but something so. I still don't think I should have got called that far down the line. But you never do you? It's alright, I'm through, I'm happy, I'm through. And, yeah, Ashley went home, and to be honest, it was quite a happy elimination. Not happy that Ashley went or anything, but she was prepared for it. She kind of wanted to go home. She knew that she probably was going home. She'd analysed all the things of how well you did booking castings, how well you did in the shoot, and she just thought, you know what, I'm probably going home. But cool, I'm going to go see my kids. She was okay with it, so I think it made all of us, like, it was a lot easier to take. It was nice. Next week's episode. Okay, music video. I'll talk about that. But so excited, bringing out my inner Spice Girl. Yes, I suppose I'll be Scary Spice. Dance moves and song and hair flicking and pumping it out. So excited. It was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. However, there's a whole argument thing with Laura and me and Sophie and then Kyle, and I'm not sure if they're going to show that, and the Teddy and the pool and the... Oh no. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. But it'll be juicy. It'll be juicy for you. Let's see what they show of it, because I can't even say much because I don't even know what they're going to show. But yeah, look, it's been 14 minutes, 33 seconds. I think I've waffled on enough. Thanks again for watching another video blog. See ya. I hope you like it, by the way.